I've seen Riddim, like, you guys are taking steps to
definitely
ensure it's a safe environment, safe space for people to come and not feel like, oh, I'm going to leave home, you know.
Not sure if you're going to get home.
Not sure if you're going to get home, you know. We've heard a lot of stories in the over 2022, you know. What do you guys do from behind the scenes to make it a safe space? Let's go. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Trophies. It's season 4, so we're coming in with that consistency. Make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. Today we're out of the studio with someone new. We're far southeast, man. You know me, I'm an inner city guy, but sometimes we gotta hit the suburbs to see what's going on over there, and there's something special going on over here. I'm in the Riddim studio. I'm with Oli, but he's also known as Olivier. Bonjour.
Comment ça va?
Bien. Thanks for having me. Thanks for jumping on, man.
Nah, it's all good, man.
Anyways, Kaz, tell us a little bit about you before we jump into Riddim, because you're doing your own thing too.
Yeah, pretty much, I run some nightclubs in the city. Do events, DJ as well. But yeah, serial entrepreneur. But yeah, my heart's here at Riddim, and like I feel like that's where it all started, you know.
Guys, it's been 3 years, you know. We saw that massive party you guys threw on your 3rd year. What made you want to start this? What made you guys want to start this? Because you guys are a family, you guys are friends.
Yeah, 100%. Like, everyone involved in Riddim, like, we grew up together before this all started. So it's just one of them things where it means more than just an event. It feels like a community, you know? I mean, it is a community.
Yeah.
But how close we all are is, I think, something that can't be replicated. I think that's the biggest part of it. And yeah, pretty much we started off in the events side of things. And mainly because we weren't even allowed to get into clubs, like in the city. Like, it was always just difficult, you know, trying to get into other clubs, ratio, and, you know, even just the way we got treated by, you know, security or the venues. We didn't really feel welcomed, you know. So we definitely wanted to create a space that made us feel welcomed. And, you know, that's people of color at the end of the day. You know, in Australia, the new generation are from immigrant parents. So I feel like we were the first generation, I guess, to be in schools in Australia. So we're able to, I guess, bring that and bring the side of, I guess, the struggles that we've been through and try to elevate it and evolve it.
You know, you spoke about a couple barriers, you know. Firstly, being people of colors. Everyone knows the memes. When there's a lot of black people in the club, they're getting pulled to the side. They're gonna say, sorry, boys, not tonight, you know? So obviously that was a motivation for you.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, and it was crazy because I think through our second Riddim event, like week after, like, you know, we got to know like people in the scene and stuff. Like, people were really like, you know, oh, we let us swear?
Say whatever you want, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, people were fucking with Riddim, you know? And we got introduced to some people who run clubs in the city. Literally the week after I got knocked back for, you know, not wearing the right dress code or whatever, I walked in with the same venue, same security guy. Same security guard. No questions asked. Straight through. So it's crazy, like, you have to know people and stuff like that, but, you know, and that's why, you know, we created other entities as well to make sure that doesn't happen.
Kaz, I know, you know, obviously it's a bit of a controversial one, but you're speaking about letting people in. How do you keep that ratio? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to go into a party and it's 95% guys, you know?
Yeah,
how do you maintain that ratio as well?
I think it's definitely one of those things where making the party a safe space is definitely a part of that, because I think females want to feel safe wherever they go, and just even the way that we advertise our events, they're very attractive. It's not too, you know, trap music and stuff, and like trying to enjoy music from all around the world. And I feel like because we do execute that well, it kind of encourages everyone to come out.
Yeah.
You know? And people want to come out in groups, especially big groups of friends for birthdays or whatever it is. But I think once you do that once and you continue, then it just grows and grows and grows. Yeah.
You were speaking about the safety and having a safe environment.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Melbourne is notorious for fights, you know, in the nightclub scene. And I personally, from what I've seen Riddim, like, you guys are taking steps to ensure it's a safe environment, safe space for people to come and not feel like, oh, I'm gonna leave home, you know,
not sure if you're gonna get home.
Not sure if you're gonna get home, you know. We've heard a lot of stories in the over 2022, you know. What do you guys do from behind the scenes to make it a safe space?
I think what's important is understanding our patrons and like understanding the demographic that we have. But on the other side of that, a lot of the people that come to our events are friends, little brothers of friends, little sisters of friends. So it's like we've all grown up together in a way. And if it's not the Southeast, then there's people in the West or North. So I feel like in general, the people that come to Riddim all kind of know each other already. So that's like one part of it. But then the other side is the venues, you know, venue security, building those relationships. Because I feel like once they see a room of, you know, people of color fighting, and then, you know, police, they have to call police or whatever. And then they don't want to have us again, and it ruins that, you know, reputation for us. But I think we've been able to maintain that. You know, in the early days, things happened outside the club. Like, we started off locally, so in our own area, and I guess everyone knows how it is. Like, you know, different people from different areas were fighting and stuff. But it's like we had to make sure that the people that wanted to come back felt safe again. You know, even just doing like blacklisting, like little things like that behind the scenes, definitely like helped us, and it built leverage for us as well, because when we went to a bigger venue, we would let them know this is our protocols, you know what I mean? And then they trusted us a little bit more, rather than bringing people into a venue and they're not sure what they're expecting. At least when we told them, all right, cool, we know 80% of the people that come, there is 20% that we may not know, but we have these certain protocols that will allow us to create a safer environment.
What about ticketing? You guys do ticketing? Does that help?
That was actually one of those things that we changed, actually, because we could obviously see names. But also, I feel like people who just rock up to the door and just want to buy a ticket, either they didn't plan their weekend out, so it's kind of like their motives can be different. Whereas, you know, people who buy tickets have to literally write their name and pay for it online already. So there's kind of a whole different mindset towards.
They're not going out and cause something.
Cause trouble, exactly. But yeah, ticketing was like a big change for us.
And
then also like the whole culture with COVID happening and all that, like tickets started to become a thing. But yeah, definitely relationships between the venues, venue owners, managers, stuff like that is a big part of it. Just to build trust, you know what I mean? So
I want to know, like, obviously you got a few people in behind the scenes right now even. I want to know, what is the team? What is the roles? How is it, like, you know, scale? How do you manage these things? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, we're all family. Like, you know, anything that we do, we make sure that the family knows about it. Like, you know, flyers, designs. Obviously, there's people in different roles. We've got Maran, probably the genius of Riddim, behind Riddim. But he's always behind the scenes. He's created like a lot of these flyers. Actually, all of them. Yeah, he created pretty much all of them. But just even like, you know, social media, how we push things. And then, Christina, she's one of the DJs, and like, you know, she plays a big role in like giving us a different perspective, especially being a female. I think that's an important part of our dynamic as well, where, you know, we're able to see things from the other side. Because like if it's male dominated, then
you get one perspective.
You get one perspective. So I think that's a very important part of Riddim, you know, seeing the other side of things. But even within Riddim, we have multiple females that are part of our team. So it definitely gives us a whole perspective on how people view things, you know, what to do, what not to do. I feel like we plan a lot of things out very thoroughly. And yeah, I think that's an important part of why Riddim's a successful event.
You pointed at the board. This is one thing that stands out for me, you know? What made you want to expand out of like Victoria, bro? You're just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I see you now in Adelaide, out of Adelaide, you're going to Sydney, throwing boat parties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To be honest, we didn't expect that to happen. Like, we wanted Riddim to be a local thing. Like, it was just going to be local. We're just going to keep it in the southeast. Then we started hearing people saying they're coming from the west just to come to Riddim. And then lockdown happened. So I think, these 2 events were our first 5 events. And then, lockdown happened. So that was the last weekend that anyone could go out.
This one here?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we did that in ends as well, like proper,
tough, yeah.
like dandy, you know? This is where literally where we are right now, so.
Southeast, whoop, whoop.
But yeah, and then lockdown happened and the only places you could go for house was Adelaide.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And like, it's respectfully, it's a dead city, but.
Nah, I know Highness Street's jumping. Highness Street's all right, it's all right. It's all right.
On a Saturday?
Highness Street on a Saturday, but it finishes at 1 a.m. It's like 1 or 2 a.m. it's done, lock up.
Yeah, 3 a.m.'s there, lockout.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we went there, we were actually DJing there for a birthday, and then, we actually decided last minute, like I think the week of, like why don't we just throw a Riddim there? And everyone just jumped on the plane, pulled up, and like the rest of the history.
That's tough.
I think it was one of the best summers we actually ever had. Real shit.
I want to talk about, so you've done Adelaide, you've done Sydney.
Yeah.
I want to speak about the football.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a strange one. You know, Talking Trophies did participate in the tournament. We didn't perform so well, but it is what it is.
2 years in a row?
No, 1 year. We didn't do that first year.
First year.
But we will be back next year, this year actually. What made you want to do Riddim Sports now, bro?
I think, like Maron and I have a background in like coaching, playing football as well. So I think football is a very social, like sport. Yeah. Just in general, no matter what level you play. So I feel like it was one of those things where we wanted to incorporate both and say, why not, you know? And we just did it. But obviously there's a community behind us. I think that was like the biggest part of it, is like we got the football community behind us, we got the peoples in the southeast. So I feel like adding all of our experience together, like that's what Riddim Cup became. And I feel like expanding wise, it showed that we're not just an event for partying, but also a community that can do different things, you know? Yeah. So I feel like that was a very important move for us to make. And like the first year, we incorporated corporate businesses, men's and women's. So, and then we did the same the following year as well. So I feel like it's just going to keep growing and growing until it becomes something like Summer Jam, but for football.
No, hopefully so, man.
Yeah.
And even speaking about community, you know, you got the Riddim Studio. So you guys are trying to do something now for the community as well with that, yeah?
Yeah, so Riddim Studio is actually going to be one of our, I guess, community branches, but working, you know, outreach to, you know, connect with the youth. Obviously our events are 18 plus, so it's like hard to connect with youth in that way. But I feel like if we're able to, you know, give things to the youth that we weren't able to receive when we were younger, I think that's like a very integral part in growing our generation. And that's the thing. So part of that would be doing workshops for like the creative side of things, video, graphic design, DJing. And we've kind of already started that and built a relationship with the council. And if we can expand to other councils, we don't want to just, you know, stay in the Southeast, but just even provide the blueprint for other people to even do that. It would be amazing.
Ollie.
Well.
Ollie, before we do wrap up, what's the plans for Riddim? What's the future looking like for Riddim? You know, we spoke a little bit about Riddim Studios. What are your plans for the next few years?
Yeah, I think definitely like giving back to our community, especially the youth. I think that's important because, you know, at the end of the day, after us, we want this to continue to grow. and yeah, just be able to give what we didn't get when we were younger. And I think that will be an important move from Riddim. We're trying to go overseas.
International.
Yeah, international parties. Because I feel like even just with football as well, like there's a lot of culture behind it. And we're trying to bridge that culture between us and the world. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people, they don't rate Australia like that and think that, you know, we're uncultured or whatever. But there's definitely a group of us, especially at Riddim, that are very cultured and in tune with a lot of the things going on overseas with artists, even their own parties. Like there's 99 Ginger in France, and then Recess as well. So yeah, shout out to them. Like even you know, a lot of our stuff is inspired by them, and we try to see how we can implement it in Australia, but also evolve and create our own concepts. Yeah, and yeah, just even with our concepts as well. Like I think that's a big part of why Riddim is very unique. We did the 2000s party. Then obviously we're going to be doing the top 50 countdown. Yeah. And yeah, a lot of events haven't done that type of stuff. So, and just going to other cities in Australia, hopefully we can go to Perth. I think that's the only city.
Who's partying in Perth?
Huh?
Who parties in Perth?
There's definitely people asking for it. Yeah, they're asking for it.
I didn't even know those people in Perth.
Yeah. Might have to do talking trophies in Perth.
Might have to do a little tour.
But yeah, like it's just amazing to see even just within Australia how many people want us to throw a party in their city. So definitely, you know, conquer those cities as well. But yeah, overseas is definitely looking like something, you know, something promising.
So be ready for a Riddim International touching down in your country soon.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Why not?
Kaz, absolute pleasure.
No, I appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting us. You know, you guys did make us feel welcome. You know, I love seeing the family behind the scenes, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Vibing out, chilling. But before you make sure you guys do subscribe, by the way, and check out Riddim. Check out their events, check out their page. See what's going on next. You know, if you're into the partying scene, check out the partying. If you're not, go to the football events. They got the countdown event coming up soon, coming up as well. So yeah, man.
First in Australia.
Not going to be the last.
Not going to be the last.
Stay humble, faith.